Okay. All right. So I am going to go ahead now and share my screen. Awesome. Y'all should be able to see Sharing and Earning Made Simple. So we are super, super glad that y'all have joined us this evening. And tonight we are going to talk about just some simple ways that we can share our Young Living stories and help others without being pushy or salesy and earn an income doing something that you are likely already doing and loving. You'll hear personal stories from three of us who have built Young Living businesses. And the cool thing about that is that we are each totally different in how we make Young Living a part of our lives. And so you'll get really different perspectives, which is exciting to me. And if I can get my screen to change, that would be a beautiful thing. There it goes. Gotta love technology. So if y'all don't know me yet, my name is Andrea Johansson, and I started with Young Living in 2013 when I saw a Facebook post about Valor, and I knew that we needed that oil in our lives. We got it, and when that single oil helped in several crucial ways in our home, I knew we needed the starter kit to help us support our overall health and well-being. See, my husband, he deals with diabetes and celiac disease, and he's nearly died multiple times. So I love the guy, and I wanted to do all I could to help support his health, and the starter kit seemed like a really needed next step to what we were already doing in our home. There was just one problem. To say that our family was struggling financially is putting it mildly. We had 4 kids at home, and we were on food stamps. So we didn't have money for a starter kit. Now, I'm a faith girl, and I have seen God provide for our needs time and time and time again. And this time was no different. He provided the starter kit, and we dove right into using it. And then I started sharing success stories on Facebook just because I was super excited about it. And suddenly, I had people asking me where they could get the oils that I was talking about. I had no clue what I was doing. Can I just be honest with you on that? Like, no clue. I had recently gotten my Georgia teacher certification, and I planned to go on staff at a school where I was subbing, but Georgia had a hiring freeze going on right at that time. So the huge open doors that I thought I had, they remained completely shut. So while a Young Living business was never on my radar, you know, part of that was honestly because I was not the health conscious one in the house. My husband was. It was just not my thing. I knew that people could get oils through me since I had a Young Living membership and that permitted it, but I didn't want anybody to feel like I was looking at them as a sale, and I was super scared to come across as salesy. At the same time, I also knew the difference that these oils are making for us, and that if someone hadn't shared with me about them and made it possible for us to bring them into our home, we wouldn't be enjoying the benefits that we were. So I decided I was going to begin helping people, and I just kept sharing my genuine stories from the heart. And then the crazy thing was that some of the people who got started through me started doing the same thing. They started sharing their stories, and the next thing I knew, we were all learning together how to build what was suddenly a thriving business that I had totally never seen coming. I had very, very little business experience, and yet I hit silver 8 months after getting my starter kit, and I earned over $2,000 in oils as a reward for that. 2 years later, I hit gold, and while I've hit platinum once, I've been a gold leader that's, solid, and I'm continuing my platinum growth. I've attended both the silver and the gold retreats, which were all expenses paid, and it's a ton of fun and great education, and cannot talk about them highly enough. But I even got to stay at the Waldorf Astoria in Park City for free on that first silver retreat. I'm looking forward to my platinum Ecuador trip. And the awesome thing with that is that I get to take my husband. And again, all expenses are paid. So really great bonus. For me, my story is that I work this business full time, and it's afforded me the flexibility to work from home and be available for my family. And I have a full-time income that's more than what I would be making annually as a teacher. But the nice thing is that I've been able to give myself raises as a direct result of the work that I put into my business, rather than it being the result of an annual review. It was a really beautiful day for our family when we no longer qualified for food stamps. And it's been an incredible blessing to have my Young Living income see us through times when my husband didn't have work as a contractor, and as he's worked on building a brand new business that's then been impacted by the current times that we're in. For me, my Young Living income is absolutely a motivating factor as I continue to work hard and grow. But every day, I'm grateful that what I get to do each day is something that I absolutely love, as I get to love others well and empower them to do the same. I never expected this to be my story, but it is, and I absolutely love it. So that's my story. It's how I got introduced to Young Living, and I would love to know in the comments, how are you introduced to Young Living? And as you put that in there, I'm going to move on to the next slide. So what are you hoping and dreaming about? From small to big, we all have hopes and dreams, and most of them include the need for finances, right? Maybe you'd like to cover the cost of your monthly oil so they don't come out of your family budget. Maybe you'd like to cover a bill or two, or pay your mortgage, or go on a dream vacation. Maybe you want to create a residual willable income and fund charitable causes. Like, all of this is possible with Young Living, and so much more. So then my question for you is, did you know that 2 million women are currently thinking of starting a business? 25% say they don't because they lack networking opportunities and confidence. 71% say they cannot name a female role model. That's crazy. And 180 billion of extra revenue would be generated by 2025 if as many women as men ran their own business. So, pretty amazing statistics. Here's the thing. We all share the benefits of products and things that we love all the time. You know, raise your hand at me if you have recommended a restaurant, shared a recipe, recommended a book, maybe a Netflix binge-worthy series. You know, we tell our friends about great things that we find, and we look to the people that we trust to give us real reviews and recommendations all the time. Sharing our Young Living experiences is no different. It's just sharing another thing that we love and believe in that we want everybody else to fall in love with because we know how great it is. So, because we are talking about the income potential with Young Living, we are required to share our most recent income disclosure statement with you. You'll get this in the handout tomorrow, but take just a quick look at this and think for a moment about what annual income would change the way you live your life. So these are real numbers, and the averages are absolutely, well, all across, the numbers are absolutely accurate. And I can attest to that as a gold leader working towards platinum. So that gives you an idea of my monthly income. So at this point, I am going to turn this over to my friend Marcia so that you can hear her story.
Let me unmute myself. All right, so I'm gonna actually kind of weave my story in as I share some of my tips with you. I've been using and sharing Young Living about 6 years, but I've lived several different places. So my Young Living journey has kind of traveled all of those places with me. So Northern Virginia was where we moved from. So it has a huge warm spot in my heart for my Northern Virginia peeps that are checking in with us. And my story goes all the way back to my Catholic charity days with Jamie. We've known each other a really long time. And so I'll share and weave a little bit of that in. Do I move my own slides, Andrea, or are you moving those for me?
I will move them for you.
Okay. All right, so I grabbed a starter kit here. This was not my original starter kit because, like, I've been around for a really long time, and the bottles were a whole lot uglier back in the day, and the labels were all mismatched, and the marketing wasn't near as pretty. But here's what I want everybody to think back. What was it like when you got this box? I'm gonna guess maybe exciting and overwhelming. And did you look at these oils and you were like, oh gosh, I want to do them right. Like, I want to honor these special oils. but I was a little intimidated by them. So I think when we're sharing, we want to make sure that we go back in time to remember what it was like when we started and how would we have wanted somebody to help us. And so my tips are going to kind of center around that. So being a product of the product, what does that mean? That means you got to use them and you got to figure out how to use them. And by doing that, you're going to have stories to share with people. You're going to have successes, and that success is going to lead to this passion that you cannot keep quiet about these products. When you have a win, and if you've been following along on our webinars, we've shared lots of wins with you. When you have those, you're not going to want to keep them to yourself. So that the more wins you create, the more passion you create, and then you're just naturally going to want to share out of that passion. I was a skeptic when I got my oils. I was shocked at how anything natural, I was not a natural girl, could work. They've been transformative in my life in many, many ways. We do not have enough time here tonight to discuss that, but my life doesn't look anything like it did when I started using those oils. And I wasn't expecting that kind of transformation. But when I started feeling better and having these wins, I wanted more of these products in our home. But we had just moved to Northern Virginia, and our mortgage was crazy expensive. I also didn't want us to be homeless either. So I had to figure out a way I could get more of these products in our home, all the while passionate about getting them in other people's homes. So for me, it was just a win-win. And back when I started, essential oils weren't cool. You couldn't see them everywhere. I'm still not so sure that that's a good idea, that you can see them everywhere. That's a story for another day. And I had just moved from Missouri to Virginia when I got my oils, and I couldn't wait to take them back to Missouri because nobody was talking about essential oils in Northwest Missouri at the time. So that's actually what got me sharing, was I was like, there are people that don't know about these. Now people know about them. They just don't know the good ones. So the education has changed a little bit, but that's what ignited my passion, was that I wanted oils in every home. And as I discovered more and more Young Living products, I wanted all the products in everybody's homes. And I wanted to ditch all these toxins. All right, I've got notes. I'm looking down here because I can get a little rambly. All right, so let's go on and let's explore outside our PSK, because we've got that starter kit. We're using our starter kit oils, but there's so many great products beyond the starter kit. Gosh, every year Young Living probably adds at least 20 to 30 new products to their product line. And they don't discontinue very many. So since in the 6 years, we've grown a whole makeup line of products since I started using the products. All right, so here's what I would suggest. Every month, it's kind of like how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You try 1 to 2 new products every month. So you're reordering your favorites, but you're trying new ones along with that. And I'd encourage you to look at your body system and see what you want to work on and add in products to help you feel better and live better, whether that's you or somebody in your household. And of course, make sure you're ordering on Essential Rewards because, well, that just makes sense. It's not an Essential Rewards class, but, well, that's a given. Okay, so you might not be sure where to start. Just look around your home. Young Living has a product for every room in your house. I always have my diffuser. Well, I mean, I normally have my diffuser on anyway, but whenever anybody's coming over, I always make sure I have my diffuser on. And, you know, we haven't had lots of house guests since we moved to Tennessee. And with COVID, we haven't had a lot of people over, but we had some friends come and stay with us a few weeks ago. And he walks by the diffuser and he sniffs it and he says, well, what is that? And I said, oh, it's Thieves and Citrus Fresh, which, by the way, jot that down. If you're not diffusing Thieves and Citrus Fresh together, you should be. My husband starts telling him the story of Thieves. And I just sat back on the couch and I just let him go to town. Lo and behold, that family ended up ordering a starter kit after they had came and stayed at our house. And we started that conversation just by him sniffing the diffuser air because I had the diffuser on. Another great tip. Okay, we're going to hope that everybody by now knows to wash their hands after they use the bathroom. I mean, we're just going to hope that's a given. Young Living has fabulous foaming hand soap. It's in beautiful containers, so easy to leave on your sink. Rochelle's a pro at this. I know that she has Young Living hand soap everywhere in her house. I've been to her house and I've seen it. So that's a super easy way to start those conversations. So use your product guide. And if you don't know that, every year when they come out with a new one, you can add that to your ER order and get a new product guide. There's just you can always look at the virtual one online, but there's just something nice. I don't know, anybody else use their product guide regularly, or am I the only nerd here? Like, I don't know, there's something visually about having it in my hands and looking at it. And it's clustered really well if you're trying to ditch and switch. That's the pro term, ditch and switch. So you're gonna toss out all the old stuff and put in good non-toxin stuff. So if you're around us, you'll hear us use that term. And we will also, in our follow-up guide, have a list that will help you ditch, switch. All right, so it's always more fun when I don't do all the talking. So I am going to have Rochelle share something, but I want you to be thinking about what is a room in your house where you could have more Young Living stuff? Or if you've already got Young Living everywhere and you can't possibly add one more thing, what are some products that your guests have used and that started that conversation? Rochelle did a Facebook Live and I heard her share this on her Essential Rewards order when she was opening it up. And I asked her if she would share this story. So Rochelle, could you tell us about a kitchen product that we may not even know that Young Living has, and you'll have to unmute yourself.
I gotta find the unmute. So a product that we pretty much order every single month and most people don't know about, but as I'm filling out people's order, especially if they're ordering the Ninja kit, then I will have them add this to their order, because when you order the Ninja kit, you are $3 short of your 190 PV. So for $3 more, they need to put something on their order, because the free products is what I really feel like, you know, gets people to that next level. Right? They really enjoy the free products, and typically the free products are not something they would order, so they get to try something. So I always put the cereal on. Most people don't even know they have cereal, and when I get to talking about the food, people are pretty amazed. We are gluten-free here, but we don't have any issues with the einkorn. Ariana doesn't have any issues with this when she eats it. So we add this, and then for us, we always add the wolfberries. So if I'm gonna do a cereal, I'm a Tupperware lady from before I was born. I still have my mama's Tupperware. So I have a Tupperware container. This container, as I'm dropping it in the floor, will hold 2 boxes of cereal, a whole bag of the wolfberries, and a whole bag. I don't have it because my husband threw it away. I meant to save it for this tonight. Sorry. Anyway, they have granola as well. So the cereal doesn't have sugar in it. Yay. But for kids, that's like, ew. So, so the granola does. It has honey in it, and natural sugars. So it's a sweet. So I put all 4 items, so 2 cereals, the wolfberry and the granola. I put it in here and I shake it. That then becomes their cereal. It's the only cereal we have in the house. And you can also use that in a little baggie for like not Chex Mix, what am I trying to think of? Granola mix, whatever. Grab and go kind of mix. So that makes it really easy. And you can add other stuff, nuts, seeds, things like that. But the cereal is one I try to have people throw on there because it lets them know, 1, we have food, and 2, especially adults, well, depending on the adult, but not all adults are really into really sugary, junky cereals. So this is a healthy cereal that an adult can feel, oh, I can have that, not full of junk and crap. So that's kind of this is pretty much always on my order on a regular basis, but anytime I need that extra few points to kick it over to the next level, I drop a couple of boxes of that on there and I have it.
Thank you so much. That was such a fabulous tip. I think you guys can all see why I heard that and I was like, oh, she has to share that tonight. And I mean, wouldn't that be great if you had people visiting to put that out and to serve that for breakfast if you had people visiting? All right, so does anybody else have a room that they need help putting a product in, or a testimony of a wow that somebody's tried it when they've been over? And you'll have to unmute yourself if you want to share. Everybody's quiet tonight? All right.
I'm sorry, Marsha. I was replying to somebody and I totally missed your question. What was your question?
That's all right. So we'll just keep moving through, and at the end, if anybody has a testimony they want to share, we'll get it then. All right. So the other important thing, you got to start using your products. You got to start taking them out of the house with you. So it's important to use them at your house when you have people over, but you got to start using them when you leave your house. All right. Because you want people to ask, what is that? Roll on an oil, eat a Wolfberry Crisp bar. It doesn't matter what it is. It just is a great way to start up a conversation. So Christy, you're going to know this story as soon as I start to tell it. If you want to transform somebody's day and have an amazing conversation, look for somebody who's having a bad day and oil them up. You need to ask for permission. We don't just randomly walk up and like oil people. Christy and I guess that's the other thing I should say about this business is that for me, it's also been about the people that I have met. And I did not know Christy before Young Living, and we have become great friends. I knew of Rochelle, but I didn't know her well, and we have gotten to become a lot better friends. It makes sure that I stay in touch with Jamie, and I haven't lost her friendship because we stay in touch also through the business. I've gotten to know Marsha Myers because of this business. But Christy and I actually had an opportunity to travel together. And we were on an Alaskan cruise together, and we stopped at a port, and literally we were having lunch at a brothel. Yes, we were. And let me just tell you, I don't know who's in a bad mood at a brothel, but the guy who was eating next to us was in a bad mood, and he was not nice to our waitress at all. And she was the sweetest thing. And they make them all dress up in costume and all that stuff at the restaurant anyway. So I'm sure it's a little weird for the rest, you know, for them. And like, we oiled her and we were super nice to her and we left her a nice tip. But like, it totally was like a light switch moment. Like, she came to us kind of like anxious, and you could just tell he just kind of verbally beat up on her. And the oils and the conversation, it just transformed her day. And if I look, I should have looked for the picture and put it in the chat, but I didn't do that. But we took a picture with her when we were done. And so that's one of my favorite things to do. Okay, pre-COVID, when like you could see people's faces and all that, I miss seeing people's faces. I would love to look for people, especially on their first day at work, when they're really struggling, and strike up a conversation with them and be extra nice to them and remind them that everybody has a first day, and, you know, put a little stress away on them. So I love to oil strangers. Yes, my name is Marcia and I love to oil strangers. So you can find your own level of comfort with that, but I've never had anybody say no. All right, so let's talk about products, and you can type them in as we're going along. Let's talk about products you might use when you're out and about. So what are you thinking? One of our leaders loves to give away Thieves cough drops. She says she always keeps Thieves cough drops on her, and she is constantly handing out Thieves cough drops. And you may not know, let me grab one just super quick. Even have these little great guides you can order from Young Living. So you could keep cough drops and a little guide in your purse to hand those out if you wanted some information to give out with your product. You can totally, Rochelle used to carry her, and I'm sure she still does, I just haven't seen her for a while to see it. She was carrying her Thieves spray like on her belt.
I still do.
So smart. Still do? I figured you probably did. Right now, everybody has Thieves hand sanitizer with them. Share that. Let somebody feel the difference with that Thieves hand sanitizer. If you know, whenever you get comfortable going to public gyms and public workouts, taking your products with you to the gym is so smart. Sunscreen at the beach. Maybe if you're in an office where you can diffuse, and totally right now, oh, Calm, yes, Calm CD. Can't everybody use a little extra Calm CD right now? Wouldn't you just like to like have it in a spray bottle, and like when you're at the store, you need some and you need some. And, but if you can have a diffuser at your office, wouldn't it be great to have that extra support of Thieves right now? Any oil, you just can't go wrong just putting on any oil. All right. So now we are going to get to the point, we have used all the products. We're going to get to the point where we're comfortable recommending products. And the more you use, the more you're going to get comfortable recommending products.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second? When you were talking about the Thieves, another idea, I don't have mine, it's in my purse, but take your business card, if you have a business card, and staple the Thieves cough drops to it. So in the winter, mine is typically a winter thing, but right now it's an every time thing, because normally we used to be afraid to pass gas. Now we're afraid to cough. So, you know, if you see somebody kind of struggling, you can hand them, and it's on there, and say, here, have a cough drop. This is all natural. You know, you don't have to worry about it. And they got your information. If they really like it, you know, just give me a call.
Great idea. Thank you. So as Andrea was sharing, people recommend stuff to us all the time. One of my most popular posts recently was I was asking people to recommend their favorite book. And I got lots of recommendations. I don't even think anybody duplicated. I told them they couldn't pick the Bible, so nobody duplicated. I think if I had said they could pick the Bible, I'd have got a lot of Bibles. But I got like 50 new book recommendations. So that's what we do as a society. We recommend stuff to other people and other people recommend stuff to us. So one of the favorite things that I've heard people say about the business is, it's only weird if you make it weird. Because it's what we do. We share. If we love something, we tell other people. All right. So when you're catching up with family and friends and they express a need, just start that conversation. Use it as an opportunity to ask if you can make a recommendation for what they're going through. For me, if I see something on Facebook, I never comment on their, this is me. Like, if you guys want to share, you can share however you want to. I'm only sharing my story. So I don't ever comment and say, oh, you need to use blah, blah, blah for that. I will take it into a private message and I will see, gosh, I see all of your kids have been sick for the last month. Would it be okay if I made some suggestions for something that might help you? I feel like it's more personal and it really sounds more like I care about them if I start it in a private thread. But of course, you can do that however you want. But you just want to see and, you know, just kind of start opening that door. And if you're really new and you don't have any idea at all, because you don't have to be experienced to start sharing. You can start sharing as soon as you get that kit. Trust me, if anybody can share oils, anybody can share oils if I can. Trust me. There's lots of ways you can learn about the products if you don't have 6 months or a year of use in. You can just be honest and tell them, I haven't had that issue, but let me research it and get some information for you. People appreciate that honesty, and there's no way you're going to have every issue that's ever going to come up. Marsha Myers and I have several of these conversations. And a lot of times I'll be like, I don't know, let me see what I can find out. Especially if it's a pet issue, I almost always have to research that because, I mean, I have them, but even when I'm using them on my dog, I'm still always researching to see what I want to use. So it's always important to share as compliantly as you can, and compliance is something that we could spend a whole evening talking on, but that's all I'm going to say about that for tonight. You've seen us model that through our webinars, and we've shared lots of great information compliantly. It's totally possible. But one of the things that I think will help you not be overwhelmed in the beginning by your oils and grow your confidence in sharing is a good resource library. For me, a good resource library really helps me use my products and helps me share them well. And I just grabbed a few of my favorites, mainly because I kind of picked one for each different category. Jen O'Sullivan, to me, just is a great person to get resources from if you're looking for information on supplements. She has a great supplement book. If you've got people asking you all kinds of baby questions, and let me just tell you, I'm not gonna, right, Andrea, like the baby maker's closed. Like, we're not gonna be giving you any personal recommendations. However, Betsy Bosom, she's got some really good information. Ladies hormones and all the sex stuff, that's Lucy Libido. She's our girl for that. And I've just really been enjoying learning about emotions from Carolyn. I think it's mine. But there's lots, and you don't have to know it all. You don't have to be an expert. There is information out there that can help you. And the other important thing to know is that you're never alone. You've got your whole team. Like, you've got the whole Brady Bunch family is here to help you. So if you don't know how to do these things, We'll help you figure it out. And if you're just starting out and you can't afford 20 books, we're happy to look up stuff for you. That's one of the reasons why I try to tell my customers what books I have. So, because I feel like if I have that book, they have it too, because I'm always happy to look up stuff for them. So that was kind of where I landed, was that you want to start recommending products. The other thing that I will say, and I didn't have this in my notes, is that I do love samples, but just remember that samples are just that. They're samples. They're small. You want to figure out what's enough that it's going to make a difference and they're going to know that it works, but not enough that they don't need to buy the product. So sampling is absolutely fine. There's some strategy around the best way to sample. And so if you have any questions about that, I'll be happy to discuss that more with you. And now I'm going to turn it, I feel like I've gotten a little rambling, so I'm going to turn it over to Christy and let her share her story with her beautiful purple hair there. I'm a little envious. I wish I could rock the purple hair.
I do love my purple hair. You can't really tell, but it is still purple, but it's a little dark in here. So, hi, my name is Christy, and I'm a little bit different from Marsha and Andrea, as this is truly a side hustle for me. I am a very busy, which is probably even an understatement, IT administrator for a company in Northern Virginia. I run 5 branches and support about 220 people all by myself. So I'm on call 24/7. It's tough, but I love my Young Living family. I love my Young Living business, and it's hard for me not to share about it. So when I started sharing about it, I kind of ended up having a business and not even realizing it. So my first year, I had no guidance, none. The person who enrolled me, and I'll tell that story in a moment, she wasn't really doing the business. She was just casually sharing here and there. And so the business side of it, she didn't really guide me. And then a lot of these lovely ladies that you see on here tonight, they had reached out and they're like, hey, we see you growing. Do you want to come under our wing? And I was like, absolutely. And I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I took that step, because it's been an unbelievable, amazing ride, being able to go to convention and meet people from all across the world. The Alaska trip that Marsha and I went on, like once in a lifetime opportunities I've been able to enjoy from this business. And the friendships, as they were saying previously, the friendships that we've formed here, that in itself is rewarding enough of why I do this business. So my quick little story, because we were talking, Marsha told her story about how we helped our waitress because she was just having a bad day. I had gone to get my hair done and I was having a bad day, and my hairdresser and I, we're friends. Like, we're not, she doesn't only see me when I do my hair, but I walked in and she was like, whoa, what's going on? I can feel something's off. And I was just like, I've had a day. She did not ask permission. So, but she basically took my wrist. She dropped a couple of drops of oil on me, told me to rub my wrists together and sniff. And I was like, okay, crazy lady, but I did it. And 15 minutes later, I just felt more grounded, more relaxed. I was enjoying getting my hair done. And I wanted to actually have a conversation with my friend. And I just couldn't believe how it made me feel so quickly. And of course, after that, I was like, okay, what was that? And how do I get it? She told me what it was. It was actually white angelica. That is my gateway oil, which you don't hear that oil being your gateway oil very often. As Andrea's was Valor, white angelica was mine. It changed my life. It is still almost 6 years later, an oil that you will never run into me and I not have probably at least 2 bottles with me. I love it. I have it with me at all times. I probably in my house right now have 10 bottles of it that are open, because I've got it in my bathroom. I've got it in my bedroom. I've got it in my office. It's everywhere. When you have that kind of a reaction to something, it's hard not to share about it. And that's my story of how I got started. And with me being as busy as I am, I never thought that I would be able to have a side hustle, because I tell myself every day, oh, you're too busy, you're too busy, you're too busy. No, you're really not. No matter what you're doing in your life, you can find time during the day. You just have to want to. If you're watching a show on Netflix or TV, you've got time. If you're posting your favorite meme on Facebook, you've got time. You've got time. You just have to realign some of the things that you're doing, and it's really not that hard. And yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I've been telling it for almost 6 years, and I don't see that changing. I absolutely love it, and I love what I do, and you can do it too. Okay, so you have already heard, oh, here's another thing. Some of you on here already know, I have been on vacation, a working vacation, for 2 weeks. I got back last night. I have not prepared for this. I am totally doing this off the cuff. I don't have a script. I don't have anything that I'm reading. This is just me speaking to you from my heart. So again, a lot of people would say, oh, I just got back from vacation last night. I don't have time to help teach a class. Oh, no, I can do it. I got this. So social media. We're all on social media of some sort. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, anything, any social media that you're on, you can use that as a sharing media. We've already mentioned earlier several ways that you could share. As I think it was Andrea mentioned, talking about your favorite restaurant, and you're taking a picture of your meal and you're posting it and saying where you're eating. You're giving that restaurant, excuse me, free advertising. Imagine if you got paid for talking about that restaurant. The oils are the same thing. You're just going to casually share, hey, I made this amazing guacamole today with my Young Living lime. So you might want to make that. But the difference is you're now sharing your business, and you're now going to get some income from it. So it doesn't have to be salesy like we were saying. I use oils every day. I post something. I'm going to say on my personal page, I sprinkle in how I talk about the oils. Sometimes I'll talk about the oils, and like you said, I won't show a picture. While I was on vacation, I got stung by a bee. It was not fun. It hurt. And the pictures, if you haven't seen it, like my entire upper leg was just, it wasn't pretty. Let's just say that. And everybody on there was commenting how I needed to take all these over-the-counter things. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. So without saying what I was actually using, I was talking about how I was treating it naturally, and I wasn't going to be taking antihistamines. I wasn't going to be taking this and that and the other. And it had some people message me saying, okay, what are you putting on your bee sting? So you can talk about oils without really talking about them, without showing a bottle looking like a media ad or whatever. But we're all on social media, and it's very easy to talk and share about something that you love without sounding like a commercial. So that's my take on social media. Okay, we've also already touched on this a little bit. Infusing your Hangouts with oils. Use them in your car. Use them in the restaurant. Put that lemon in your water while you're sitting in the restaurant. Have the oil bottle sitting out. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and went, what are you putting in your water? Including the waiters and waitresses and everything. You have to use them. Hey, what lipstick color is that? That's my Young Living lipstick. Like, it is amazing what conversations you can start by simply using your oils. Another way, because obviously we're not really having get-togethers right now, which I completely miss. I miss our make and takes. But Marcia and I, not too long ago, we had a virtual make and take. We had people sign up. We made everybody little kits, which it sounds like a lot of work, but it really isn't, you guys. We mailed everybody a kit of what they would need to do this virtual make and take with us. And we made it really fun. We had stickers on the outside of the package saying, do not open until the Zoom class starts. We did it on Zoom just like this. So we all opened our packages together. It was a skincare make and take. And we had sent cute, I wish I should have grabbed it, but we had these cute little hair. She's got it. Hopefully you guys can see Marsha. So we all had animal ears to pull our hair back so we didn't get our hair wet while we were being done. So it kind of helped break the ice on our Zoom call as well, because I mean, Marsha and I, we were both unicorns because we were the leaders. We had to be glorious unicorns. Everybody else was like cats or dogs, but it was so much fun and people loved it. And you had that camaraderie of hanging out, washing your face. Like we literally all washed our faces on camera together. And it was great. We can't get together in our homes, but we can still get together on social media or on Zoom or whatever platform you prefer. Another way that you can infuse your life with somebody else's, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts. I have already started Christmas shopping via my my Essential Rewards. I've got a little pile over here, and these are going to be my gifts to people. So let's say you know somebody who's always complaining a little bit about needing some extra help for sleep at night. Get a bottle of lavender, make a sheet spray, or make a roll-on, and that can be a cute little gift to give them at Christmas or for their birthday. And it shows that you're paying attention to them and that you care about them and you care about the needs that they need to have met. So it's another great way that you can infuse your life with your oils and share them with people. When we're allowed to socialize again, have people over. Like Marsha was saying, have your diffuser going. I have something going at work all the time. My desk at work, I have oils everywhere. So you can't walk past my office with going, oh, what's Christy got on today? It's just use them. Have them with you. Use them and don't be afraid to use them in front of people and talk about it. It's really such an easy business and you can help so many people. I'm in IT. I help people all day long. You would think when I'm not doing IT that I wouldn't want to be helping people, but it's a technical help versus a genuine, I don't want to say genuine because I genuinely, enjoy my job, but you're helping them in a different way. So it helps my right brain meld with my left brain and make a happy unity. I love it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Christy. We are going to wrap up with just a couple other slides. So you guys have had some really phenomenal suggestions tonight for easy ways that you can share and help others. This is just a normal part of life. It's just what we do. Again, it's no different than recommending anything else that we recommend in our lives. So if you take a minute and think about it, who in your life could benefit from these products like you have? I mean, think back to when you were first introduced to these oils and other Young Living products. How much better has your life been since then? Can you even imagine life without them? I know I certainly can't. And so I'm so ridiculously grateful to those who introduced me to these oils and shared their stories and walked with me on the journey and helped me understand, what to use and all that kind of good stuff. So maybe you have a family member or a childhood friend or a neighbor or coworker, somebody at church, your child's school, any of these places. These are all people who are within your community. We meet people, new people, almost every day. And you have an opportunity to really make an amazing impact in the lives of those around you just by sharing out of the love of your heart that you have for them. So I would just really recommend that you make it a personal mission to start by helping 2 people. Just think of 2 people in your inner circle who would benefit from the Premium Starter Kit. Now, here's the cool thing. The added bonus to this is that when they decide that they need the Premium Starter Kit and you give them your member number when they enroll to get their starter kit and their wholesale membership, you get $50 as a thank you check from Young Living. So it's really important. You want to be the one to help walk them through, right? Just like you've had someone walk you through. And so you want them connected to you, which is why you make sure that They have either your member number or your personalized link, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And they are part of your Young Living community then, which is just a beautiful thing. It just becomes another part of your family, right? And in a different kind of area of your life. And then as you are helping people enroll, that's initially your greatest source of income, all right? Because you're getting those $50 every time you help someone enroll. The important thing is that you do need to have a 50 PV order of your own that month for you to receive your $50 thank you check for anyone you enroll. But let's say you enroll 3 people that month, you're going to get a check for $150. And it could be more if they purchase things beyond just the starter kit. So then the greater income beyond that happens when the people that you help start helping other people, and you share and grow together, and both of you are going for your hopes and dreams, which is amazing, because when you empower other people to succeed and you're putting their needs ahead of your own in helping them to succeed, you automatically succeed. It just happens. And so that's something that I absolutely love about this business, is because I do grow and I do benefit, but I do that because my heart and passion is in helping other people, which is just amazing how that works out. So we were talking, you need to give people your member number and your link. And this is just the initial start of how you do this. You can give them your member number and they can go to youngliving.com and they can hand put your member number in the enroller in the sponsor field, or you can go into the virtual office and you're going to go to member resources, that's on the left-hand side, and you are going to click on link builder. So you see step 2 is member resources, step 3 is link builder, step 4, it automatically populates it with your member number. And then at the bottom, it says copy link, and you can copy that. Now I am gonna say this, we are about to have an update on our website. So this is how you do it right now. The website will be changing, and we will help walk you through that when the changes happen. And guess what? We all get to learn together, right? Because the same way that I began this business knowing absolutely nothing about essential oils, very little about business skills, all that kind of thing. And like Marcia was saying, hey, if you don't know an answer to something, that's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that, but let me try and find out for you. We're gonna do that together with the new and improved website when that rolls out, which I'm really excited about. So last but not least, we want to invite you, because tonight was an introduction to the simplicity of starting a Young Living business. Yes, it can become full-time, and yes, then it does take more of your time when you are wanting it to be a full-time income. But even in the beginning, there's a starting point, and the starting point is beginning by sharing and helping, using your products in public, recommending, infusing your oils throughout your day whenever you are with people, any of those kinds of things. So if this is something that you are interested in taking steps forward in, we want to invite you to become part of a community of starters. We're calling the group Starting Point. It's a Facebook group, and we are not going to overwhelm you with all kinds of things. We are going to do a couple of really solid things that are going to help you get a strong start to what you're doing and to feel supported in your next steps. So next week, Monday through Friday, we are going to do a 5-day kickstart, and you can do your choice. We are going to do Zoom meetings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will do the exact same meeting that night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hey, maybe on Monday the daytime works for you, and on Tuesday the nighttime works for you. You can go back and forth, because it's going to be the exact same meeting during the day as it is at night. But we are going to work through a 5-day kickstart, and then on August 31st, which is the following Monday, we are going to walk with you over the next 90 days and beyond, obviously. But when you commit to those 90 days, y'all, it is happening during the very best time of the year to build a Young Living business. So you're going to have the strongest opportunity possible to really see, hey, what can I make out of this? What can this become for me? And you're going to have us walking side by side with you in it. So you are not alone. And so if you are interested in joining that group, go ahead and you can put your name in the comments. You can get in touch with the person who invited you to tonight's webinar, but we're gonna make sure that we get you added tomorrow. It's not gonna be tonight, we will add you tomorrow. And as you enroll people and you help them get started, if they are interested in helping other people get started and knowing what to do on the business side of things, guess what? You are free to add them to the group as well. So we are super excited about that. So beyond that, we just want to say thank you for joining us tonight. I am going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to turn off the recording so we can answer any questions that you might have. But we are so grateful that you took the time to join us this evening.